Hello, in this video let us understand various causes of balance of payment disequilibrium. Balance of payment disequilibrium is the most burning issue of most of the countries of the world. So let us understand what are the causes behind such disequilibrium. Broadly speaking, there are economic factors, natural factors, and political factors responsible for balance of payment disequilibrium. The most important economic factor responsible for the balance of payment disequilibrium in most of the developing countries of the world is rapidly growing population. For example, in India, the population is growing at a very alarming rate. India, being the second largest populated country in the world, is facing problems associated with the large size of the population and rapid growth of a population. In order to meet the needs of growing population, imports have become very essential, and the quantity of imports also has increased on account of large size of the population, and increasing imports naturally lead to deficits in the balance of payment. Inflation is considered to be the important factor behind balance of payment disequilibrium. Nowadays, nations of the world are confronted with the issue of rising prices or inflation. So, due to inflation, the goods become costlier to foreigner and foreign goods become cheaper to its nationals. This leads to decrease in exports and increase in imports, causing imbalances in balance of payment. An increase in income and price level owing to rapid economic development in developing countries will also increase imports and reduce imports, causing a deficit in the balance of payment. Development expenditure is also a factor behind balance of payment disequilibrium. When a country undertakes large-scale development expenditure, it will often lead to a steep increase in imports. A developing country will have to import large volume of raw materials, machinery, technology, even capital for its economic development. However, it may not be in a position to generate adequate exports. Such a situation leads to disequilibrium in the balance of payment. Since development is a continuous process, imports of these items continue for a long period of time, landing these countries in the BOP problem. Most developing countries are facing this type of problem in their balance of payments. Demonstration effect or bandwagon effect is the most important factor behind balance of payment disequilibrium in the less developed countries. When the people in the less developed countries imitate the consumption pattern of the people in the developed countries, their imports will increase, their exports remain constant or decline, causing disequilibrium in the balance of payment. Demonstration effect or bandwagon effect is the effect of a person's behavior, particularly in relation to consumption in economies. James Dusenberry, an American economist, in his consumption theory advocated that demonstration effect comes into picture when one person starts to consume a good by seeing another person or to show someone and not because of his own original likes or dislikes. This is what is happening in the developing countries. People of developing countries start imitating the consumption pattern of the rich countries. Naturally, the imports of developing countries will increase to meet the consumption demands in the domestic economy caused by bandwagon or demonstration effect. So this leads to unnecessary imports of the commodities, causing balance of payment disequilibrium. Exhaustion of natural resources. A country which initiate economic development in order to meet the development requirements, it exploit the natural resources. Many times natural resources are exploited to export raw materials, to export primary commodities to the foreign countries in order to earn foreign exchange. So naturally, with exhaustion of natural resources, because natural resources are exhaustible resources, so with exhaustion of natural resources, exports of the country will decline, imports remaining at a higher level, leading to balance of payment imbalance. Slow technological progress. A country may face balance of payment problem due to technological factors too. If other countries are achieving faster technological development and we lag behind in this regard, our cost of production and prices will be higher than in other countries. In addition, the quality of our goods and services will also be lower. This will adversely affect our exports and increase our imports. When our textile industry failed to adopt modern technology, naturally our exports declined. So we need to update our technology. If we fail to update our technology, we fail to produce quality commodities at affordable and competitive prices, leading to decline in our imports, causing balance of payment disequilibrium. Trade cycles. We know that trade cycles are common features in free enterprise market economies. Periodical oscillation or fluctuation in the level of economic activity, maybe in the form of booms or depressions or a recovery or a recession, may lead to ups and downs in the level of economic activity, which will reduce our exports, increase our imports, which may trade cycles may lead to either inflation or deflation, causing imbalance between exports and imports, leading to balance of payment disequilibrium. In recent years, even the poor marketing strategies of the developing countries are also considered to be the main factor behind balance of payment disequilibrium. Developed countries are able to adopt superior marketing strategies so they could increase their exports. But the poor marketing facilities and technologies adopted by developing countries find it difficult to find market for their commodities in the international market, leading to decline in exports, increase in imports, leading balance of payment crisis. Flight of capital. Due to speculative reasons, countries may lose foreign exchange or gold stocks. People in developing countries may also shift their capital to developed countries to safeguard against political uncertainties or inflation, etc. So the rate of return on capital induces movement of capital between nations of the world. If capital is moving from our country to a foreign country, there will be outflow of currency leading to balance of payment crisis. With globalization, most of the countries are facing the problem of exports, increasing imports. Developing countries in the initial stages of economic development fail to acquire competitive edge over the developed countries due to lack of core competence. They miserably fail to enter international market, and due to competition resulting from globalization, naturally, the emerging economies find it difficult to export their commodities, but imports will increase continuously, leading to balance of payment crisis. There are other factors also. For example, changes in tastes and preferences of the people, habits of the people, development of substitute products, development of alternative sources of supply, changes in the price of substitutes, etc. are other factors causing imbalance between export and import, leading to balance of a payment crisis. There are natural factors also. Natural factors like natural calamities like flood, earthquake, failure of a monsoon, which may result in decline in agricultural production, which may result in reduction in the business activity, leading to fall in our exports. So many times natural factors induce us to import more. Natural calamities compel us to import more, and our export surplus declines, leading to balance of payment crisis. There are number of political factors. Both national and international have an important influence on a country's balance of payment. Political instability, frequent changes in government policies definitely will adversely affect the working of an economy and its exports. It also affects the credit worthiness of a country, which will lead to decline in inflow of foreign capital and availability of easy credit. Problems like industrial disputes, lockouts, strikes also affect balance of payment crisis. Political factors like deterioration of public services, unstable political situation, security decline in the current circumstances, wars and armed conflicts, poor healthcare facilities, difficulties in transport system, pollution of the environment, like these are the factors of political instability and insecurity causing imbalance between exports and imports. So in this video, we have understood various causes, mainly economic, natural, and political factors responsible for the imbalance between exports and imports, or receipts and payments, or causing balance of payment disequilibrium. Thank